We are only 3 days away from the 2025 college football season kicking off, which means I'm going to be ranking and predicting all 5 Week 0 games going on this Saturday. At number 5, we have Idaho State and UNLV. I don't think this game's really going to be close at all, but we get to see Dan Mullen's first game back as a coach in like 5 years since he was coaching Florida. So that'll be interesting to see how his UNLV squad does, who's a real Group of 5 playoff contender. I mean, they could easily get the Group of 5 playoff spot. I think they're one of like 3 teams that I could see getting it this year. But it'll be interesting to see how they really perform on the field. And Idaho State's a solid FCS program, so maybe they can keep it close, but I don't see that being the case. At number 4, we have Sam Houston and Western Kentucky. This is the battle of 2 of the best Conference USA teams from a year ago, but they both lost so much production from last year's teams. And they bring in 71 combined transfers between the 2 teams. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how either team does to start the season. But this could be 2 of the best teams in the conference this year again, but we really don't know with all the newcomers. But I'm going to take Western Kentucky in a close game. I think they're like a 10-point favorite or so. I think it'll be closer than that, but I have Western Kentucky winning. At number 3, I have Fresno State and Kansas. This should be a really interesting game to me. Fresno State's a solid Group of 5 program, and Kansas is a solid Power 5 program who has obviously gone up the ranks in the last 5 years or so under Lance Leipold from what they were. I think this will be a good game for 2 or 3 quarters, but then I think Kansas pulls away in the 4th quarter, wins by 2 touchdowns or so, but I could easily see Fresno State keeping it close. At number 2, I have Stanford and Hawaii. You could put games 2 and 3 in either order, and I'd be fine with it. I think Kansas and Fresno State are better teams than Stanford and Hawaii, but I think this game will be closer. I think Hawaii is a 2-point favorite or so, but they've got a great up-and-coming quarterback in Micah Alejado, who broke out onto the scene last year at the end of his freshman year. So it'll be interesting to see what he does after a full offseason of development against the Stanford program, who's really just been in shambles the last few years. I don't see this year being any different. But I think this game is going to be really close. I think it'll be really good. But I'm actually picking Hawaii in a really close game to upset Stanford. And the obvious choice at number 1 was Iowa State and Kansas State. I mean, you got 2 Big 12 title contenders, 2 top 25 teams. I mean, what more can you ask for in a Week 0 game? And it's in Ireland. I mean, probably be better if it was on one of the campuses, but I mean, unique experience, unique game, great game to kick off the season, so I'm not really complaining too much. I am an Iowa State fan, but I like to think of myself as unbiased when it comes to talking about them. But I'm really 50-50 on who I think is going to win this game, and so I'm just going to pick Kansas State to win, just so people won't think I'm biased by picking ISU. But I could see it going either way, but I'll pick Kansas State by a late field goal.